Hi, it's time for the Hurricane Main Show on His Hop Radio.
I just want to inspire, motivate, and inform. I really believe that God gave me this gift of rap and talk so I can motivate and uplift people that are down and out and spread the word of God and promote positivity. Because I believe that positivity is the formula to winning. And that's what I do. I win. Hey, welcome to another great episode of the Hurricane Main Show right here on His Hop Radio. And happy Tuesday to ya. Everybody out there on that Tuesday grind, trying to put your work in. You got Monday out of the way, and now tomorrow is what, Dejanay? You know.
Hump day, hump day.
Hump day is all about how you look at it. And you know what? Today is primary election runoff day, nationwide, and that's what's going on right here today in Newton County, okay? And I know after this segment, Dejanay, you're going to be working at the polls. You're going to be...
Yes.
Yeah, so you got to get out there and, just get people to listen to the show, because they may make their decision right there on the spot.
Yeah.
Yeah, because tomorrow, I guess y'all will be working the polls because people are walking in to vote.
Yes.
Yeah.
And registering them, taking their IDs and, getting them set up to vote. Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool. So, we wasn't going to keep this opening segment long because we got 2 long interviews coming up with 2 of the people that are involved in the runoff for District 5 Commissioner of Newton County. That's Dorothy. Let me make sure I get this last name right. It's Dorothy P. Piedrahita. God, I can mess that name up every time. Piedrahita. That's her name. And Casey Duren. Yeah, we got them coming up in the show. So,
wow.
Yeah, but that's going to come up after this segment. We won't play much music, but I just want to know what's been going on with you. I know you've been grinding.
Still busy. I rested on Sunday, but now I am just tired all over again. But hey, this is the life that I was called into. I knew what I was getting myself into when I said yes. But I'm just busy. But I'm interested in hearing what these 2 politicians have to say about their role as the district commissioners, because I really don't know, the different roles and functions of these candidates that we're electing on the ballot. So this is just helping me learn more, because like I mentioned previously on the other show, that me and my foundation are actually doing a voter education initiative. So I'm using today, voting day, to be behind the scenes at the voting polls to see, what's going on, what type of issues might flare up. And that's some of the things that we can bring to the panelists' attention when we host our panelists, our virtual online panel in September, Okay. So I'm just interested to learn, because this is something that, it's time for us to take more seriously, especially with my family. It's been on the back burner, but now I want to get involved and make a difference and a change in our community, not just at the national level, but at the local and state level too.
That's where it starts, right on the local level. And, positions like District 5, the county, and Miss Dorothy, she's going to explain it and break it down for us, because she's old school in the game. She's been in there a long time, friends with John Lewis. She marched on the Edmund Pettus Bridge. She's been around. She's dealt with mayors of Atlanta, and she's worked on their staff. And so there's been a lot that this lady has done. So she's going to break down to us exactly what the commissioner is over, the position that her and Casey Duren's battling in today's runoff for. So
that's going to be great.
So for the young people, Dejanay, following your thing to get more enlightened about politics, this will be educational.
Right.
Regardless of where you live in the world, this is educational. So it's going to be good. And this came about in a weird way, in a nutshell. I'll just say that there were some people that supported Casey Duren that went on Dorothy's Facebook page and said some stuff that she got offended by, some racist stuff. And,
wow.
And she was upset because Casey didn't jump in, because he was tagged in some of the posts, jump in and intervene and say, hey, don't do it like that. We're not that type of people. But Casey, you know, he's gonna state his case on all of that in the interview coming up, that, you know, you just can't see all those posts that people are putting out. And then somebody said, one of her supporters, Dorothy's supporters, in response to the post, said something about Casey Duren being a racist. And so this got out about with people saying that Casey was a racist. Dorothy didn't, but some of her followers did. So it was a big back and forth that I got sucked into the middle of. And I love it. I love it. I love being the mediator.
Oh Lord! Yeah, I hope you were able to diffuse, you know, the situations, and they were both able to tell their truth, their side of the story.
Mm-hmm. That's what this episode is. It's the diffusing episode to kind of mediate the situation and let people know that both of these
that's what brings unity.
Yeah, exactly. And you'll see in these interviews, you know. I know you got to run out to the polls and everything, so we're keeping this short right here. But you'll see in these interviews that they're both great people. And, you know, but the people coming in to do their final votes today, and we shall see.
We shall see.
Yeah. And, you know, I'll mention this right here. The COVID-19 thing, you know, they talk a little bit about that. Both candidates do what they plan on doing to help with that, to reduce the spread of that. And, you know, right now we gotta we can't get complacent, people. We gotta realize this is still here and it's breathing down our neck. So that's why I throw these stats at you, regardless of how scary they may be. So right now in the state of Georgia, we got over 197,000 cases of COVID-19 and just over 4,100 deaths in the state, you know. So and you know, so that's local stuff, but you can always Google to find out stuff in your area. But there's something to keep us alarmed and keep us on our toes. Okay.
Yes, I've still been hearing about more people contracting COVID.
Yeah.
So it is unfortunate to hear that still, but we're going to keep everybody up in prayers, y'all.
That's
don't
right.
keep, you know, don't lose your faith. Remember that no weapon that is formed against you shall prosper. So even if you are diagnosed, just have strong faith that you will overcome, because more people actually are overcoming COVID than actual dying, like the deaths. So just remember that it don't have to take you out.
That's right.
Keep fighting out there, y'all.
It's not a death sentence. That's right.
Right.
Yeah.
Yes.
And you know, I want to send a big shout out to D-Rock. He was on the show last week, and it was a great show. You know, a lot of great response from it. So he'll be back real soon. And we're going to be mixing some more other people in, and Dejanay and I will be rocking every week, you know, that we can put out this great content.
Absolutely.
Okay. With that said, though, Dejanay, we're going to go ahead and go into a break. I'm going to let you get out of the door and out there and do your thing, serving your purpose, and keep grinding, young lady, all right?
Yes, and I'll see y'all talk to y'all next week, but y'all be safe, stay blessed. And Hurricane, you keep doing what you're doing, because you're doing great things out there, motivating people, informing people, and just high energy, all that good stuff. We love it. So thanks for bringing your light to everyone else as well. Keep shining, brother.
All right, I will. Thanks for those kind words. And yeah, you'll be back, because I want to get you in on that interview with Dorothea Bailey Butts, who's running for coroner, and her thing is up in November. She's the one running in November, so she's trying to get the word out. All right.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to it.
Okay. All right. That's what's up. And everybody else, you just keep it locked right here. And we will be talking to Dejanay next week on the show. But everybody else, just keep it locked, and we will be back with Dorothy Piedrahita on the Hurricane Main Show with Dejanay on His Hot Radio.
Kisses straight from heaven, kisses straight from heaven. Why do we look for pleasure outside everything but you? Kisses straight from you. Instead Instead of wanting a man to hold me, a man to love me, a man to think of me, Lord, I want it all from you. Fall in love with you. Oh, how I think of all the love that you've given me this far. No other's love as good as yours. I've had them all, I've had them all. I can get any man I want, but it is you that I desire. I don't need nothing else but you. I've had them all, I've had them all. Kisses straight from heaven. Why do we look for pleasure outside everything but you? Kisses straight from you. Instead of wanting a man to hold me, a man to love me, a man to think of me, Lord, I want it all from you. Fall in love with you. Your love, it makes me feel brand new, like there is nothing I can't do. Through new eyes I see the world through you. So in love with you, so in love with you. Your love, it makes me feel alive, like I can soar throughout the sky, can conquer the world, you by my side. I've had them all, nothing like you. Kisses straight from heaven, kisses straight from heaven. Why do we look for pleasure outside everything but you? Kisses straight from you. Instead of wanting a man to hold me, a man to love me, a man to think of me, Lord, I want it all from you. Fall in love with you.
Hello, everyone. This is Marlon Thomas, and you are listening to the Hurricane Main Show on His Hop Radio.
Yeah.
Yo, man. King Kai, this for you.
Yo. Highlight.
Shout out to Use K. I got them Pokemon cards on deck.
Young Spec on the beat.
Yu-Gi-Oh!
Hey, I'm
you
really feeling my key right now.
Hey, like real talk, I'm about to go in.
It's about time to get animated in here. Where my nerds at?
We in there. I love this for real though. Leg out. Hey, shout out to the Master Piccolos. Time to level up.
This that young Shinobi Master Roshi flow. You Yajirobe, tuck your tail and go. You think you're cocky, something like Vegeta. I'm Broly laughing like I'm at me, bro. Suited up, I got the Gundam wings. I praise with instruments, wear the strings. And when you type to do the work that I do, you don't need Netflix for Stranger Things. King James, I got the greatest sword, and I don't need awards with this one piece. And with these healing powers, some call me Dende. I guard the earth cause I come in peace. Watch the company you keep around, you don't trust them like they Royoku. The ally to all that is good, a nightmare to evil like Goku. Immortality freezes mad at me and I don't need a wish for it. Training hyperbolic time chambers, game changer when I flourish. I'm so rich, my city capture corp. I'm eating good and giving all the meals. Roger Smith, I got a big go and I call upon you when it's getting real. My nickname should be Cowboy when I'm bebopping these demons. Steady conserving energy when I save some for my deacons. Charging up to see the glow I bring. A conscious rapper, ain't no need to sing. Attack on Titan, David got the sling. And now I got anointed like a king. I feel the Holy Ghost fire working in me. I got the power, I'm about to unleash the key. Spiritual with my soldiers as we all pray. Creating stories like anime, and we animate, 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 and we third grader master, but I leave my pack like I'm a pastor. Yu-Gi-Oh, I feel the inner pharaoh, that's double-minded, I'm faster. Inuyasha, man, I got the juice. Undefeated Satan, such a fool. Consistent with the testimony, quest to learn the lesson, now I got the tools. Girls be chasing me for my affection. Word to Tenchi, I can't pop the question. What you got today for everyone? I'm staying pure to God, give all his blessings. Use K, I got a loaded spirit gun, ain't no fear when I use this. I got an attitude with these demons, third eye, I'm focused. Destructive this to any fake friends, I don't show remorse when I cut them off. And Mr. Satan got you mistaken when he stretched the tooth, all he do is talk. Solar flare, blind to the madness, look, rabbit tricks are still just for kids. You would think I was a psychic Pokemon by the way that I might have been. Don't kill my calm, I meditate, 2 steps ahead like Piccolo. Crouching tiger, no hidden dragon, 9 tails like Naruto. Super Saiyan, that's a level up, I'm ready for these devils screaming, what? Raging Gohan taking bumps on top, I thought I told you self that that's enough. I feel the Holy Ghost fire working in me. I got the power, I'm about to unleash the key. Spiritual with my soldiers as we all pray. Creating stories like anime, and we animate, 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 and we animate. I feel the Holy Ghost fire working in me. I got the power, I'm about to unleash the key. Spiritual with my soldiers as we all pray. Creating stories like anime, and we animated.
Hey, we're back with more of the Hurricane Main Show right here on His Hop Radio. And just like I've been promising you in the promo and in the opening segment, we got a super special guest today on the show. Her name is Dorothy. Let me make sure I get this right. Piedrahita. Did I get it?
You got it.
That's
it's
right.
Spanish.
That's right. It's Spanish.
My husband is Spanish.
Yes. And you know what? What's cool about that is for the last 2 years I've been studying Spanish. Kind of self-taught. I don't have a teacher, so it takes a little while, but I kind of got the hooked on phonics thing. So.
Well, guess what? Guess what?
What's that?
My husband is the Spanish one. I'm an American one, but just a few words in Spanish and French.
Oh yeah.
So and one little word in German.
Well, you got me beat because I don't know any words in German or French. well, parlez-vous français? I know that one.
Okay. Parlez-vous français? Is that what you said?
That's what I said. Yeah.
Oui, monsieur.
See, I know so. Hurricane Main going international now.
That's right.
Hey, it's great to have you on the show. I'm truly honored. It's so great to have you on the show. I thank you so much. Mm-hmm.
I appreciate the same.
Okay.
And I appreciate your listening audience.
Mm-hmm.
And you for wanting me on your show.
Yes,
Thank
I did.
you so very much. Thank you.
That's right. And it's kind of ironic how our paths crossed and everything. And I'm going to brief that, and we're going to share your story also. But I'm going to brief the listeners on that. You're running for District 5 Commissioner of Newton County, right?
That's correct.
Okay. First of all, just tell us a little bit about what District 5 is. What that consists of.
Okay. Let me get my phone. Moving around. I have a dog and some parrots that sometimes want to talk when I get on the phone.
Well, that'll be cool.
They're like children. My parrot, by the way, speaks perfect English in sentences. I mean, he repeats practically everything. Okay, wow. Let's get down to it. District 5 is the second largest district in Newton County. District 1 is the first. District 5 goes all the way across I-20 to Social Circle. Okay? So come back on this side, and we're going to start Panthers, Then we go all the way around to, I can't remember all these streets offhand,
Right.
but then we go all the way down and we touch. What we do, District 5 touches part of District 4. And it works, like frankly, District 5 goes all the way and it touches District 3.
Huh.
But I'm going back east now, and so District 3 is a large county. District 4 is. District 2 is also borders on District 2. And then, of course, we border District 1, which is the largest district in Newton County.
Gotcha.
And all of that I've learned since my husband and I have been here over 10 years.
Right.
I'm this kind of a person. When I move someplace, I'd like to know where I'm moving to.
So you do your research.
I have done my research even before we moved. Even when we moved in the neighborhood, I would get out and drive in the evening and at night to see what kind of neighborhood I was moving into.
Right, exactly. Yeah, that makes sense.
So I do know a little bit about District 5.
Yeah, and you know what?
Not as much as your listeners, perhaps.
Right. Because I'm like myself. I was born and raised here, but still, this is education to me, Dorothy. Because I, most people, for the most part, we hear about mayoral elections and sheriff and different positions like this, and even presidential, of course. But we don't know about these other cogs in the thing that makes the whole town run and everything. So that's why, and we got a lot of millennial listeners on the show that want to learn about politics. So I wanted to just know, what's that job District 5 Commissioner consist of? What do you do in that position? What do you...
A commissioner is the executive of the county. They disperse finances, they disperse, and they also hire.
Okay.
So we're the revenue stream because we are a county.
Right.
And so, and that's just what it does. And then we also get ourselves involved in the community at large, meaning Newton County, because on the board you have 5 commissioners, and the deal is to get along and to come to consensus whenever possible, and make and vote.
Right.
So it's just what it says. Just like you have your city council. Yeah,
so that makes sense. That's a very important position then, because all parts, everybody has to wear certain hats to make everything function well and to keep the citizens happy and everything. So that's so awesome what you're doing, to care so much to want to run for such an office. And today, Tuesday, being a runoff day, between yourself and Casey Duren. Now,
your friend. Let's get it out there.
Yeah, let's get it out there.
Your friend, and that's good.
Let's get it out.
I'm glad to see that. I am, because he's a good old boy. He's from Conyers, and then he moved to Covington, and at least he still kept the seas going, didn't he?
He kept the seas going. Yeah, he did.
Yeah,
we're neighboring towns, for those that don't know. Because we're broadcasting all over. So Conyers and Covington, they're right next to each other. And, I brought that up, though, to just let them know how our paths cross. Like I was saying a few minutes ago, on social media, there was some words exchanged from people that support you to people that support Casey in this whole election thing. And some people said something about, correct me if I'm wrong, said something about Casey being racist. And I've been knowing Casey longer than I've even known what a District 5 was, for many years. And I know he's not that. So I posted on there, being very diplomatic about my post. I think I was. And, so you guys kind of got into that little stuff. I never really heard you outright say he was the R word. just to get that clear
No, you can
with
say
the
racist.
listeners?
No, I never did.
I know.
What I did was I researched. I was a friend of his, and any campaign will research their opponents.
Right.
And I came across with information that some of his supporters were saying, writing, texting information that were pretty cruel.
Really?
Now, I've never said he was a racist, but he never responded. And that meant he was complicit. Because if any of my friends had ever said some cruel things, one was like, the protesters should stop at Walmart and get some condoms. I guess insinuating not to have any more children. And then another one was that I can get off the top of my head. I'm trying to forget that and just focus on Tuesday. But since you asked, that Mayor Bottom, is a racist. Now, I don't know Mayor Bottoms personally. I know the position that she holds is one position that I worked with Maynard Jackson, volunteered for him both times to get him elected. I have never known an Atlanta mayor since Maynard Jackson and Mayor Bottom to be racist.
Right.
And so when I saw that, and like I said, I'm not, what am I going to say, a Facebook aficionado.
Groupie or something.
I can get what I want. That's what happened. Tracy didn't do his research on my background. And so with that being said, I think it was counterproductive. But like I said, I don't have friends that would say nasty things like that, But I never called Casey a racist.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't do that. I don't know him from Adam's house cat and because I haven't kept up with Tracy. I only met this gentleman through him running for this office.
Right.
Now that's what campaigns do. They do what? Research on their what? Trump is doing it, and Biden is doing it. You do that because you want to know what you're working with.
And it's a runoff. It's a competition.
No, I've never said that. Never.
Yeah, and I know you didn't because I read through there and everything, and just for the listeners to know that Casey Duren is coming up in the next segment. He's going to come up. He won't know anything that you've said in this segment, Dorothy, and so we're going like that. But he did give us a question to ask you, which I'm going to ask you. But I first want the listeners to know a little bit about your history in politics.
Yes, please. Thank you.
So
we can get on with it.
Yeah, share that with us. Your background. Go ahead.
Okay.
And you can start. Start from where you grew up at.
I'm gonna start where I was born.
Yeah. Okay.
I was born in Montgomery, Alabama, May 30th, 1946. The original Memorial Day. And my father was happy for that because my father was a World War II veteran.
Right.
My mother was a country girl. Both of them were born in Pike County, Alabama. I'm sure by now most of your listeners have heard about Pike County, Alabama, because that's where John Lewis' family is, and that's where he's from.
Right.
So our families, long before I knew all of this information, were already entwined. I have my mother's oldest brother still lives in Troy, and my first cousin and her husband, he's a Baptist preacher down there. Her brother was a police officer for the city of Troy. I spent many summers in Troy, Alabama.
Wow.
I used to go out by the outhouse as a child. I thought I'd bring that back.
I heard about those.
And watched my grandfather roll Prince Apple tobacco.
Wow.
As they said, tobacco.
Tobacco.
I would say tobacco, but I can say tobacco.
Ah.
And I watched him and do that out by the outhouse all the time, being run by ducks. I wasn't really good friends. The chickens, but not the ducks.
Right.
So,
okay.
But I was born in Montgomery, Alabama, as I said, to very humble parents. My father, after World War II, used the GI Bill not only to buy us a home in the first subdivision in Montgomery, Alabama, built for black GIs, and Mobile Heights was the first subdivision, I believe, in the only subdivision built for black people.
So what you're saying is, when he was in the military, they kept the black soldiers separate?
No, the housing.
The housing was separate. Okay.
Yes, and then also in World War II, from the stories my father told me. But what I'm answering your question about where I come from.
Yeah, that's
and
interesting.
That was a community that I grew up in. We had our own store. We had our own playground. And in that community, there were doctors, dentists, tradesmen, nurses like my mother.
Wow.
And just college professors, because when I attended Alabama State University, I had two of them as my professors.
Okay.
Dr. Glass and Mrs. Glass. And then in my high school, I had Mr. Bruce, who was my math teacher, and then up the street, I can't think of his teacher's name. He was one of the handsomest teachers there. But he was my history teacher.
Okay.
So we had I believe it was about 1,000 homes in Mobile Heights subdivision. So that's where I was born.
Wow.
In Mobile Heights. It's still standing in Montgomery.
And and for all those accomplished people over there, the doctors and the professors and stuff like that, seeing, a lot of times we hear about, us younger generations hear about those times, and we don't think, hey, there was still accomplished black people back then, trying to set the standards, but I'm sure they went through a whole lot to get to that point.
Well, let's not forget the blue collar workers like my father. My father was a master brick mason.
Okay.
He was the only contractor in Montgomery that helped AT&T build the tallest structure in Montgomery at that time. It was a 12-story Southern Bell Tower.
Wow.
Okay, so we had being a daughter of a tradesman, I got involved with the electricians and the carpenters. And might I add, as a child, a teenager, really getting preteen, I spent many of my summers mixing mortar. I was a laborer for my father. So while some of the girls were prissing around during the day, I was out there with a wheelbarrow and a shovel and mixing mortar. In fact, my father remodeled our home, and I helped him lay the foundation for the den, not the other parts of the home, but he allowed me to do that for the den. So I know what hard work is.
You
and
sure
also, I want to throw this in now, that the concrete that's out where the Braves used to play
at the stadium,
the stadium. When the Olympics came, I was working for the city of Atlanta.
Word.
And I worked with contract and compliance. And all of that mortar that's laid out there at Braves Stadium, I helped supervise.
Wow.
It was a $3 million project.
Wow.
And you know one of the reasons why? Because of my background, my father.
That's right.
Because I went out there one day. It was doing the Olympics hadn't come because they were still finishing up.
Yes.
I went out there, and the individual that received the $3 million contract, I came out there to observe, and I saw some wrinkles and whatever was there. And I told him, I said, this needs to be smoothed out. Now, it needs He said, no, it's going to be okay. I said, do you want that $3 million?
That's right. Because you got the eye for it. Because you're brought up in.
So making decisions. I've been making decisions ever since I was 9 years old.
That's amazing. That's amazing.
Let me tell you another thing about me. Mm-hmm. I went to school. I attended school for 12 years. I was never late and never was absent.
Wow.
I was the only child in my graduating class that was given recognition for that. Do you know what that feels like when you're the only child marching down that aisle at a baccalaureate ceremony?
I bet it was. I bet you were floating on there.
Wasn't floating on there. I mean, I didn't want to go.
Oh, you did?
I wasn't even aware that they were going to give me an honor like that. They just called my name out.
Whoa, okay.
Dorothy Frazier.
Okay.
And, if you want to look Dorothy Frazier up on Google, please feel free to do so.
Yes.
But no, I wasn't aware. But I went to several elementary schools, one junior high, senior high, and I went to school in Chicago, Gary, Indiana, Montgomery, Alabama. They retrieved all of that documentation. And when I had no idea that was even in play for me.
Wow.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I still have the award now. In fact, I pulled them out since I've been, campaigning because I'm a grounded person.
Right. I can tell that you're...
If I tell you something, it's going to be the truth.
Okay.
If I don't know an answer, I'm going to tell you I don't know the answer. But I'll find it out.
That's
and
right.
If I can't, I'll come back to you and tell you.
That's right.
That's how I've structured my life.
That's right. That's right. And that's your credentials are amazing. The things that you've done, and that's just scraping the surface from what you told me on the phone. I know you dealt with many of the heavy hitter politicians out there. Didn't you say you were friends with John Lewis?
I was a friend of John Lewis for over 50 years. But let's get back to this. You wanted me to answer the question that Casey wanted. What was that question?
Yeah. Let me go into that because we are running short on time. I got it right in front of. Yeah. Let me pull that question up. Okay. And it's kind of steering back, back to the whole Facebook thing. So I'm going to read his whole thing. Okay, here it goes.
Yeah.
He says, Casey Duren says, your Facebook page is very divisive and you are constantly attacking those who don't believe what you believe. The District 5 is pretty much 50-50, 50% Democrat, 50% Republican, both leaning either way. And the question is, how will you ensure you fairly represent every citizen and not just those that believe what you believe?
Okay, let's get back when I was 19 in Montgomery, Alabama.
Okay.
During the Selma and Montgomery March. Okay?
Okay.
The students had been beaten on High and Jackson in Montgomery with John Lewis and the King and Abernathy and all of them coming from up the Selma Highway to Montgomery. So I went down to see the group that night, and it was storming rain. I always had, I needed bodyguards with me. We can get into the point where I almost was killed at least 4 times. But anyway,
wow.
Dr. King, they came through Montgomery, and they marched up to High and Jackson, and the students had been beaten the day before. So Dr. King, I got in the march with Dr. King. I didn't do that entire Selma march. I picked it up in Montgomery.
Right.
And we marched down to the sheriff's office. Now, mind you, everybody at that time who one would consider with opposing views, we had issues because remember years ago we had the Montgomery bus boycott. But anyway, I was the only woman sitting in that meeting. I have documentation that was negotiating with the sheriff. With King and all the men sitting around because it was important to me since I was the student's spokesperson that I get across to him. These were students that were peacefully demonstrating their thoughts and beliefs on what was happening with African Americans not being able to vote and human rights. They were beaten. And so I asked him, these were peaceful demonstrators. These were college students. Their parents had paid money for them to attend the university.
Exactly.
Tuskegee included, and they used cattle prods, they used the horses, and it just needs to stop.
That's right.
And I spoke out then, and then, like I told you, I was nearly killed at least 3 to 4 times as a 19-year-old.
Wow.
Okay?
Was
so
that
I've been there and done that.
Pretty much from protesting? From protesting?
Okay, now let's get on the cases question. Then there's something about that the makeup of District 5.
Yeah.
Let me tell you something. In my blood runs English blood, African blood, a little Oriental blood.
Okay.
I mean Asian blood.
Right. I follow you.
Many people in my family have married other cultures. My husband is Latino. Now, how in Sam's Hill can I be? Oh, and don't forget, I've got white in there because some of my cousins have married white ladies and white men. So how can I be racist?
Right.
I have too much that's presently living and the blood that flows through my veins.
I don't think he was so much saying racist. He was just saying, though, even the Republican citizens too, just what will you do to ensure all of them? But really, your background kind of speaks for that, really. And
I would say.
So
I would say.
And
my present life, my blood now that's running through my veins.
Right.
I don't have time for that. That's a waste of time.
Right.
But I will say this. 2 years ago, when I was with John Lewis in that pilgrimage to Selma, we were traveling around in buses with guards. I believe they were the White House guards that guarded him. And we were on buses. We first stopped off in Birmingham, where the little girls were killed with bombs by hateful men.
Terrible.
Then we went to Selma, Alabama, and I was asked to be in the pulpit to give my story. Let me tell you what happened, what came over me. I harbored so much hate for the clans that were trying to kill me. I just broke down in tears. Okay? All of this can be authenticated. I got rid of the hate for the men that tried to take my life at the age of 19.
Wow.
I'm in my 70s. I harbored that hate. I don't have that hate anymore. And I wasn't even talking about it. So who wants all these years? So who wants to bring it up to somebody trying to kill you?
Right.
You know how traumatic? And a bullet passed by my head on my own college campus.
Oh, my God.
George Wallace was the governor. And the only people on that campus were what? National Guard.
Right.
So I just got rid of all of the hate that for men that were trying to kill me. I don't have time. It's useless.
That's the first step to healing anyway, to getting over things.
Sure.
Is you surrender all, and you just forgive them for your own good, and let God deal with them.
I didn't say I forgave them. I said I stopped rendering that hate in my heart.
Right.
That's a difference. Okay.
Okay.
I got you. All of them are mainly dead now, so I can't go to them and ask them to forgive me. I forgive them. Come on.
But still, you wouldn't hold what they did against people now.
No, I wouldn't. No, but they were trying to kill me at least 4 times.
Right.
I'm a young girl. My life hadn't even gotten started.
Right.
In fact, I hadn't even graduated from college at that point.
I know. And I've been through things, too, with law enforcement and stuff, and so we have to keep pushing on though, and not let it control or dictate our life's perception, of where we end up, where we're headed. So now though,
that's right. Because I realized that the Asian population, the student body reflects that.
Right. That's right.
So there's no question. I'm a very fair person. And Mr. Duren is a fair person. He works with he has a couple of businesses, I think. I don't know, maybe one.
Yeah.
He works with a lot of people.
Right.
He's got to deal with other people if he wants to stay in business.
That's right. I personally think that's why I like doing interviews like this, because I get to know people a lot more than just anybody, regular people would know you. And now I'm doing this platform so everybody gets to know you. So I like this. And so my own conclusion is that both of you are great people, and both of you will be great for the job in November. And my prayers are with you today. With people going to in-person vote today. And that's what before we end this, I wish we had a longer show, but before we end this, I want to see if you wanted to say something to the voters out there and everything, and give some shout outs or something like that before we wrap it all up.
Yes, to all the listeners, I'm sure all of them aren't voted in District 5.
Mm-hmm.
I will never tell the voters anything that I will do and not keep my word, because my parents always told me, Dorothy Jean, when you walk out of the door, your name is Dorothy Jean Frazier. Okay? So giving honor to my parents, that will never happen. As commissioner, I'm not going to say what I'm going to do. I don't know all of what I'm going to do, but you can bet that I have a vision of a new business. Maybe. My professional background has given me that. I am also going to keep my eye on COVID-19. That's what my focus has been on my Facebook page.
Right.
I do not have a political page. I didn't want that because my Facebook friends know the person that I am, and they wouldn't expect me to not be on one page and another. I just didn't see any need for that. But I was Meals on Wheels coordinator for over 10 years for Atlanta, North and South Fulton. Most of the time, I would have at my beck and call 500 volunteers. None of them was ever accosted, so their cars was broken into. I started the first camp for children with epilepsy in Toccoa, Georgia.
Wow.
I assisted, my son has epilepsy. I was the education and social service director for the Epilepsy Foundation of Georgia, helped start the Magnolia Run. So, and I'm big in culture. I believe District 5, we can work together in dealing with cultures. And so you can always tell them, I want to start liaison people. That's what I work with when I worked with Atlanta, working with the Economic Atlanta Opportunity, working with Atlanta Regional Commission, and now Newton County over the years have gotten into the Atlanta Regional Commission. I work with them and also all of the handicap signage that we have in our cars and we park. I worked with the Atlanta Regional Commission to get that in Georgia.
Wow.
Wow,
yeah. Look at that resume.
Right, I do. And the thing is, what I bring, I bring. What you see, you get. What you hear, you will hear.
Okay.
You will not catch me in a lie.
Okay.
If you do, you bring that lie to me before you spread it.
There you go.
And I really appreciate being on your show today.
I
people
really
can make
appreciate
their minds up. And being an ex-social worker with my minor and my major in sociology and psychology, I read people very well. I'm a humanitarian.
Okay.
My entire life, from the age of 9, I've been a humanitarian.
Well,
I'm not a businesswoman, but I know business.
That's right.
If I don't know it, I know where I can go to get the answers.
Amen.
So thank you very much for interviewing me.
Hey, I'm so honored.
Wait a minute. You forgot to have me mention this. And I'm not shooting my own horn. But it just brought up to me yesterday. I received an award in 2016 as one of the international women in the year of the woman in 2016. International award that I received from Women's Work Goes On.
All right.
And so what I'm saying, I bring what I bring. I'm a humble woman. I fight snakes out here in the country. I have a Doberman. I raise a garden, and I have birds that talk. Yeah. And I can't stand housework, but I do it.
Yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do, don't we?
Yeah. So I thank you. If anybody wants to call me, my number is 404-449-9279, and the young people can call me. Yeah. Because I do have some interest for them.
Okay.
I'm a grandmother. I'm a mother. I'm a wife. I'm a grandmother, and I have my first great grandchild.
Amen. That's a blessing.
Just turned 1 in March.
That is awesome. That is awesome. I'm so
Thank you.
Like I said, I'm so honored to have had you on the show. This
I'm
is very
honored. What are you talking about?
I mean, with someone that's done all you've done, and I'm in the mental health industry trying to do my part from God and serve my purpose to help people with this show, to inform, motivate, and inspire. It just makes me feel, I just see God working here to make us meet each other, and I want to offer you an open invitation to come back on the show anytime, and share your story.
Yeah, yes, and ask Tracy, excuse me, because we'll lose it if we don't. Ask Tracy if I'm victorious, will he support me? Because I will support him. Okay,
will do.
I appreciate that.
I sure will ask him that. That'll be in the next segment coming up on this extended edition of the Hurricane Maine Show. Dorothy Piedrahita. I have to slow down. Yeah, I have to slow down. You know how you downshift.
You look at it and then it sounds just like it's.
It sure does. It sure does. Piedrahita. Yeah, there we go. All right. Good luck today, and God willing, good luck in November, and to all of your endeavors. And please keep it safe out there with this COVID-19 and everything, sister.
That's going to be one of my big go-tos is COVID-19, because I've had over the last month double-digit friends and family to die of the virus.
Oh my God. My
cousin died in Cambodia. I'm not sure what he died of, but they did. They cremated him. So normally, that might be the case. So, he was a retired Navy man.
Well, if any of the listeners miss any of this interview or the beginning of the show, listen to it a repeat this evening at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. That's 2 p.m. over there on the West Coast, because I'm going to run down some COVID-19 stats on there. I'm running down stats on there just to keep people informed and keep them aware, because sometimes we become complacent and we start to lower our guard, so we got to keep people on their toes, to get this ugly virus out of here. Okay,
5 p.m. and tomorrow morning. When can I hear it?
Yeah. The show airs every Tuesday morning at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time and 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time.
All right, then. Bye.
Yep.
On the other side.
Yep, that's right.
And don't forget to bring me my coffee. Bye.
Okay. Hold on just a second. Stay on the line. Let me tell the listeners that we'll be right back after this break with Casey Duren, Deborah's opponent. And for District 5 Commission.
No, my name is Dorothy.
Most
I
said
people
Deborah.
have never met a Dorothy. Wait a minute. Most people have never met a Dorothy they didn't like. My mother was named Dorothy.
There you go.
And they know it. If they be honest, we're some good people.
I'm glad you corrected me on that.
The name in Christianity is I think Blessed One or something of that nature.
Okay.
So I have to honor that name.
Okay.
Bye.
Okay. Okay. We'll be right back, everybody. Keep it locked, all right? I was always told that you get out of life what you put into life. So if you work overtime, then you'll get overtime pay. You see, I competed on a professional level and BMX bicycles, bicycle motocross. And this was my passion. This is what I got up in the morning and trained for. Worked out, studied videos, rode mile after mile. I really concentrated and focused on this sport because this is what I felt God had for me. Now I knew that I couldn't do it forever, but I was gonna do the best at it while I was doing it. Training, knowing that I have an event coming up and knowing other guys are training, so I put all the hard work and effort in, and then heartbreak. Go to the race and come home in defeat. Not doing nearly as good as I imagined or hoped to do. But I was always told by mentors throughout life and different things that I studied that we have to learn from our mistakes. Fell our way to the top and learn from every last drop. So sitting around crying and feeling defeat was not an option with me. Though I go through it for a second, but I bounce back and come back for a victory. And I was gonna persist until I got that victory. And even after I got victories in BMX, I have sometimes when I have defeat again, and I start to learn as I got older that yes, this is how you feel your way to the top, and you learn from your mistakes and you get stronger and stronger. Now I eventually accomplished winning a couple titles, and now I'm able to inspire kids to keep dreaming their dreams. And that's what I'm sharing with you. Keep dreaming your dreams, never get discouraged, because you get out of life what you put into life. I'm Hurricane Maine, and I thank you.
We blessed up, things we did when we messed up. Greatness calling, you hear us. When times were hard and you spared us. God is speaking, he's on site. Word proclaiming it's all right. Everything that you got, Mom, God provided, he's God's son. Jesus prayed and we all must. He can wipe away tears, bro. Stress becoming, I say no. Trust in God, he's my hero. Took me far, so I must know. Wait on God to receive more. God here, so we push, pray. God trust and I can't play.
I see, now I lean back. To my knees, your power is strong and it's brushing on me. Everything I got, you gave it to me. The process was great, let it pass like a breeze.
Wait on God and just push through. Things he did just to save you. Thank you, Lord, for the breakthrough. Now God is working it out soon. Things can change, but we must pray. Live for God and we feel safe. Rather love than to feel hate. Now Christ be known and he heals me. New in Christ and my past gone. Living new and I moved on. Now I'm singing a new song. Have to love and to be strong. We will reap if we faint not. God is God and he can't stop. Praise his name from the rooftop. Praise him now when we won't
what
stop.
I see, now I lean back, getting back to my knees. Your power is strong and it's brushing on me. Everything I got, you gave it to me. The process was great, let it pass like a breeze.
All right. We're back with more of the Hurricane Maine Show right here on His Hop Radio. And I appreciate everybody hanging in on that rather long interview with Dorothy Piedrahita. I'm getting better with saying that name right there now. And we're back with her opponent in today's runoff. You know, today's the day you can do your walk-in votes for those of you that haven't done the mail-ins. So it's important to have these individuals on the show. Now we got Casey Duren on the show. Say what's up to the listeners, Casey.
Hey, Tremaine, appreciate you having me on.
All right. You know, to the listeners, Casey's like a brother from another mother to me. I've done a lot of paint work at his home, and it's funny how God leads people in certain directions. And I was into all this media type stuff that I'm doing now, the speaking and everything, long before the painting. And it's just funny to me, Casey, how things come together like that. And it's awesome that I can be here supporting.
Oh, yeah, thanks. Yeah, God brings people around just for reasons, you know. And like I said, I've been friends for a long time, and I appreciate you having me on the show. And like I told you earlier, Lisa and I are big fans, as always.
Awesome. That I'm totally grateful to hear that. But I know you're a busy man out there on the grind on the campaign trail. You got a local business here in Newton County, that you're running and everything. What's that called now? That's Rapid Tax, isn't it?
Rapid Tax Service, right there in Morgan Plaza, right off the square.
Oh, wow. So people got to come over there. I think I need to come get some issues straightened out. So, and I'm sure
let me know whatever, I'll get you straightened out.
All right. Got to make a note of that. But, it's awesome what you're doing, and to be an entrepreneur is one thing, but taking it to that next level to want to run for local government is not. And from what you've told me about the cutthroatness in it and everything like that, you're not doing it for prestige. I don't think.
Oh, no. Not at all.
So,
no, sir. Not at all. Not even close.
Right. So it must be something in there that's driving you, because some people around here, and around the world and everywhere start businesses and everything, but they don't go to this level with things. So what's got you motivated? What's burning inside of you?
Well, basically I kind of jumped in this race last minute. Qualifying was ended on that Friday at noon, and I was in the office to qualify about a quarter to noon that Friday. I just kind of looked at the slate of candidates that were running up against the current commissioner, and I just decided, well, if there's going to be some opposition to the current commissioner, I just felt like there should be some quality opposition. And I just honestly, just between you and the listeners, I just felt like the quality of the opposition just wasn't there. So that's when I jumped in. I kind of jumped in last minute. I felt like, that the voters needed a real choice to decide on county commissioner in District 5. That's where I live. I wanted to make sure that, that when someone went to the ballot box, that there was a true competitor to the current commissioner. If the current commissioner makes it, fine, but I always want to give everybody a choice.
Wow, that is powerful right there. That's well said, too, and it makes a lot of sense. And I can hear it in your voice that you really have a passion for this,
Oh, yeah.
And
it's not my first rodeo either. I ran for office, in 2016.
Yeah, tell us about that.
I did. I came within about 3,000 votes of beating the former tax commissioner who'd been in office for 35 years.
Wow.
I ran. Back then, you could actually campaign. COVID's kind of thrown us a curveball here on going door to door and stuff like that. So I've been kind of avoiding, door to door stuff, because I don't want to make anybody uncomfortable either.
Right.
So just getting out there through social media mainly. Social media is a huge platform now, and knowing how to use it and when to use it and how to get through to people is a big thing. And
it is huge.
So that's been my biggest thing is social media these days. Versus going door to door and getting,
That's
getting
right.
to meet people. I wish I had been able to do that as well, but like I said, I'm more about, making people comfortable. I don't want to go knocking on a door and someone, coming, and giving you that wave off kind of deal.
Yeah, they be hiding from you. It reminds me of my childhood when certain people would come to the door. I won't say the name of the organizations, but they'd come to the door and Mama would be like, "Get quiet, they're out there, get quiet." And they see you come to the door, they turn the TV off and everything.
Exactly.
So that's good, though.
Right.
That's good you say that about social media, because a lot of the candidates and the sheriff himself even told me, and even Ken Malcolm, that this is important, what I'm doing right here, because everybody's stuck at home, especially in these times, and as we go into the future. So that's why that's so important. What's that? Go ahead.
You gotta know how to use the platforms. That's the thing is, people just unfortunately, some people these days just don't know how the platform works and how messages get out, and especially even just sharing things on Facebook. Sometimes people don't understand how that works. So getting that out, especially to the young voters. I mean, you're talking millennials and Generation Z, that's their thing now. Is these apps, TikTok, Instagram.
Yeah,
Facebook. Right. I think they consider for older people, my generation, Gen Z. But Facebook is still huge, and that's Facebook, what a lot of people look at.
That's right. Never vote Facebook out. That's a mega power right there. Exactly. And it's very, very important. From that to YouTube and all of that stuff is very important. And the children, the kids are the future. So gotta lean in that direction right there, and
exactly.
And and I was talking to your opponent in the last segment and everything, and we got in a discussion about how this whole thing came about to get you two on the show. So I'm going to shift gears a little bit right now, because I know we only got so long on the show, but we were talking about how this thing came about. And in her words, how she described it, and I got a little bit from you, but she was saying that some of your supporters were saying some hateful and racial stuff against her on her Facebook page, and she didn't hear you defend it or call it out or something like that, And then some of her followers, in response to her commenting on you not going against that person, they say, well, he must be a racist. He's a racist. So so all that started. And I know personally that you are not a racist. Nowhere close to it, more. Thank you. You know what I mean? So I know you're a super cool guy. Love you to death. I know your family, your brother, your sister. I know, you know what I mean? So
yes, sir.
I mean, so what do you say to that though about this whole thing going on between you two, this little tension? You have anything to say on that?
Like I said, unfortunately, my opponent did a cut and paste job with from some other different, Facebook posts. She took one post that was done by somebody, did a cut and paste from another post where I made a comment back during quarantine. And this is going to be, basically back during quarantine. I'm Facebook friends with over 3,000 people on my Facebook page. Let's get that out there. I don't know all 3,000 people.
Right.
I've met people through my life on vacation where we became Facebook friends, or especially when I ran in 2016, a lot of people Facebook friend me during that time to see who I was.
Yeah, because you're in the spotlight.
Right. I'm running for an office.
Right.
So there was a lot of people Facebook friend me who were not for me. They were for Barbara Dingler at the time, and this one particular person, and I'm not going to call his name because I don't want that to be brought up. But he Facebook friended me, and I friended him, and I can tell you right now, he's not going to vote for me. I mean, he's a diehard Republican, no matter what I say or do.
Yeah, some people are like that.
But if anyone knows me, and you know how I am, I'm pretty lighthearted anyway, Jermaine. I don't take things a lot. What I need to take serious, I take serious. But I'm one of those people that I like to enjoy life, and I like to sleep well at night, and I'll pick at anybody. Well, back during quarantine, this particular person had made the comment. As well, 9 months from now, it looks like we're going to have a bunch of babies being born. And of course, me being lighthearted, and I normally don't respond to any of his posts. I had to kind of said, no, I think we're just going to practice.
Right.
And his next response, of course, went political. Well, just don't make any more Democrats. My next response was, no, it's okay, we're fixed. Because Lisa and I can't have any more children. They was just a little, back and forth, no bantering, nothing major. Well, this particular person, is very political when it comes to being a Republican. He's very diehard conservative, and
I know that type. God, I got him on mine.
Right, and I guess he made a comment. He made a post later on about another mayor. and the mayor of Atlanta.
Right.
And I didn't respond to it because I don't follow him on Facebook. And somehow she did a copy and paste that made it look like I had made that response when I said onto this particular one, which
Wow.
I don't get into Facebook. I knew many years ago that you're not going to change anyone's opinion on Facebook.
No, you're not, and you're better. Even my daughter just graduated from Valdosta State was telling me, "Daddy, don't comment on those people. Don't say nothing."
Right.
You're getting like 70, 80 comments and everything.
Right.
Nobody's reading
it's not
all
gonna
that.
happen. Nobody's gonna. You're right.
No.
Once someone's opinion is made up, they're gonna be made up. So I don't get very serious on my Facebook page. So that's the post she's talking about. Like I said, it was a cut and paste job. I don't go that way when I do a campaign. My campaign is I'm all about what am I going to do for the people. This particular district is a 50-50 district. This district is made up of Democrats, Republicans, Libertarians, and independents. So
right.
Even though I'm running on the Democratic ticket, and I tell people this all the time, even though I consider myself a Democrat. I consider myself a very moderate Democrat because I think, and this is my opinion, if you're going to represent a district, you have to represent everyone in the district. And sometimes that means representing people who don't think like you do.
Right.
So
that's right.
So with that being said, I don't get into political debates on Facebook. I don't really get into political debates, period, because even though I'm running for a political office, I'm not a politician. Right. I don't like politics. I think it's very divisive. I think a lot of people, for the majority, believe some of this and some of that, which blends into both parties and sometimes other parties, that are out there, the Green Party, the Libertarian Party.
Yeah. So
I try to look at things, and I always tell people this: I'm a logical thinker. I try not to make decisions based on emotion.
Right.
And,
makes sense.
And I think a lot of that's what's going on, especially in today's climate. There's a lot of decisions being made on emotion versus being thought about logically.
Right,
well,
or voting because they're Democrat, or voting because they're Republican.
Or voting because of this, or voting because of that. But these local elections should be different. That's what I tell everybody.
Right.
Whatever your national view is, I can see I can see it in the national view. But these local views, these are people you meet at church, you go to church with, you run into at the grocery store. Some of them are my tax clients on both sides.
Right. Right. It's like we're all in the same house.
That's what I tell people all the time. I said, just because sometimes you live in the living room and I live in the bedroom. Sometimes you live in the bedroom and I live in the living room.
That's
so
right.
we're all in the same house no matter what.
That's right. Right.
These emotional decisions, and I'm every one of us has made them. I could go back probably 25 years ago, and I'm not, I'm only 46 years old. I'm not, I'm not, I can't go back as far as Dorothy has gone back in her life, and she's done great things, and I don't ever want to take that away from her because of some of the stuff she's done.
Right.
If anyone knows anything about me, I'm obsessed with the March at Selma. That is one of my things that I love to learn about. So I appreciate what she did there. I appreciate what she did. I've met John Lewis multiple times.
Wow.
I don't put that out there because I want to be elected based on me. I don't want to be elected based on because I knew someone or I was with someone.
To me, the way
like that.
To me, the way I see you bring the knowledge of the education to the table on how to get things right to make changes and everything. Because you're an accountant, really. That's what you. Yeah. What do you have degrees in?
I have a master's degree in compliance law, which is basically employment law. My bachelor's degree is in human resources, and I have an associate's degree in accounting.
Yeah.
So I have a gambit of things where I've always been in HR, and I've always had to be kind of a moderator. So that's kind of where I hit that middle line where I go, let me listen to you. Let me listen to you. Let's come up to some middle ground.
Right, and so that speaks volumes right there. And then having that social media background and just knowing and interacting with it, and already having a great following. That's the way I look at what I'm doing. You build that following so big, and you're doing the right thing, and then that's how you promote change from within, rather than just yelling a bunch of narratives and stuff.
And like I said, the whole tip that we ended up having. So going back to speaking about that, that's the Facebook post you're definitely talking about. But I had shared there's that is in our district, District 5, and they were, they've been struggling during the COVID time. So I had shared a post, and she had thought that I had posted it directly on her Facebook page, which I tried to explain over and over that if you're following me or looking on my Facebook page, then the Facebook's going to assume you want to see what I'm doing. It's going to show you my post on your timeline.
Right.
So I never tagged her. I never tagged anybody. I just shared the post. So I had a hard time explaining to her how Facebook worked. And I still don't think she quite gets it how Facebook works, but maybe she'll get it eventually on how Facebook works. But it was just one of those things, and it happened. And like I said, I wasn't even going to address it until my son kind of got upset about it. So that was the only time I addressed it. Because like I said, if you look at my Facebook page, I usually talk about my pig that I had to actually read home.
Oh yeah, that pig! Oh my God. People, you see this.
You remember the pig, right?
Yes, and it's funny because I wish I had took a picture when the pig was a baby. Because I was over there painting the den, and I mean, it's a cute baby pig. Oh, that's funny, Casey. You're a funny guy. And then I come back for another project only like 3 months later.
Right.
I mean, God, he's like a ton and huge. I'm afraid.
Lisa was the one who wanted it. Lisa kept saying, he's never going to get big. He's going to be this big, this big.
God. Never say never, Lisa. Big shout out to Lisa for bringing this whole thing right here together, too. But wow. I mean, how huge is he now, though? how many pounds?
He's probably 300 pounds, but he's a country pig now. He got moved to a farm in Madison, and you can actually go visit him. Not to say that I'm not upset, because you got attached to him the most.
Yeah.
Not Lisa, me.
I mean, wow. I didn't never seen something grow that fast. It's like kudzu.
I tell you. I kept telling her ahead of time, he's not going to be that little. Oh, yes, he will be.
That's right. So that's what. So I hear your energy in it, So I know from seeing your posts. We're friends on social media. That's what you're posting. Letting people know how down.
Yeah, and I like to make people laugh.
Yeah,
I like to make people laugh. I mean, the world is way too serious, in my opinion. And we should all be in this together as one people. And, that's why I'm always so lighthearted when it comes to Facebook, is I want people to laugh.
Hey, man.
I just say there's not enough laughing and there's not laughing in the world. And that's my thing, is I'm usually, very rarely see me post anything that's serious or that, in the current news and debatable and stuff like that.
That's right.
If I get elected, my job is I want to go in there and do what's right, and go home and go to bed and with a clear conscience. That's what I want to do.
And
there's going to be hard decisions.
Yeah, and it's going to be some hard decisions. And before we get ready to close this out and let you send some shout outs or whatever, I wanted to ask you, what do you have in mind as far as if and when you're elected to do about this whole COVID situation, if it continues to grow?
The thing with COVID, I keep telling people now, there's no handbook for COVID, unfortunately. There's no, you don't go to a book and say, this is what we do in case of COVID. I just think we really just have to keep watching those numbers. Hopefully, at some point, there will be a vaccine that will be available to people who want them.
Right.
And my thing is, if we all just do our part, I think we'll eventually beat this COVID enemy. It's been said, it's an invisible enemy, and I agree, it's an invisible enemy.
Yes.
But I'm also one of those who I also think we've got to continue living. We can't live in fear. We wear your mask, wash your hands, social distance as much as possible, and hopefully eventually, we'll be back to somewhat of whatever the new normal is going to be. I don't think anything is going to go back to the way it was.
I don't either.
I tell my mom and dad, when they go out, make sure you wear their mask, make sure you wear the gloves, your gloves if you're touching, stuff, and they do for the most part.
That's all
they
we
pretty
can
much
do.
stay in.
Yeah.
And my dad's learned. My dad's, he just turned 70, and he's learning how to do the Instacart and stuff like that. So he's not having to go out as much too.
Oh,
which
wow.
is good.
Wow. So you're helping them along with that type stuff.
I am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All that stuff's important.
That's where he loves it. So,
that's where we're going, brother.
Just watching over. Right. It is like that. We just need to be courteous to everybody. I have friends who are deathly afraid, and I have friends who are a little loose when it comes to going in and out. But I think if we all just did our part and was courteous to everybody else, I think we would see these numbers change dramatically. Like I said, unfortunately, there's no handbook for this, so we're having to learn as we go.
There's none at all. We've had close to 5,000 deaths in Georgia now, and it's just ridiculous. So we'll just keep doing the right thing.
One death is too many.
One death is too many.
We just gotta keep doing the right thing. And unfortunately, there's different opinions when it comes to what the right thing is too.
That's right. Amen, brother. Well said.
Yep.
Before we get ready to go, we still want those listeners out there to get out to the polls, whoever haven't voted yet, or I just want them to know more about you so you can be supported more.
Right.
A lot of people don't pay attention to all of the positions that are being ran for, and that's good to get it out there,
Right, and like I said, I've worked in state government. I worked in, I currently work in another local municipality, so I'm very familiar with how government works. I worked in private industry, plus also own my own business, so I've got a good game, but I'm well-rounded. I think I'm well-rounded when it comes to knowing what to do and how to do it.
Okay. Well, you or anybody else out there ever want to do some promoting for your businesses, local, nationally, or whatever, y'all need to hit me up. We can fix it up the way you want it.
You got it.
Yeah. I'm going to be doing a lot of promo, but for different people.
Sir.
But that's awesome. I think we covered a whole lot, and I think you'll be great for the job. And I told Dorothy that both of you are great people, and I know you personally, and I've gotten to know her. That's what's wonderful about these interviews, because I can really get to know people and I have a new level of respect for them. Same with Captain Ken and Sheriff Ezel. Found out a lot about those gentlemen, and you're a fine gentleman, and God bless you in all of your endeavors, my brother.
Thank you. I really appreciate it, Tremaine. Again, thank you. Like I said, I've enjoyed our friendship over the years, and I enjoy it for years to come as well.
That's right. You got any shout-outs you want to give?
Well, of course, I got to shout out to Lisa, because, she's probably going to be the one definitely listening in as your first listener on this. My son, Tyler, he's been kind of in the background helping me with a lot of this stuff, going on. Just my family in general being very supportive, and my friends being very supportive. So to go on with a list of the support would be, we'd be here another hour. So just a shout out to all my friends and family that supported me during this. Win or lose, you'll never know if you don't play the game. And so, after tomorrow, we'll know if it's going to be me or Dorothy heading into November.
That's right. We shall see, and we will be on the edge of our seats and everything. And we'll, before we go, nearly forgot this. Got to do it to you. Dorothy, she wanted me to ask you a question, so that's good you kind of wrap that up with November. She wanted me to ask you a question from Dorothy P. Piedrahita. She wanted to ask that if she won tomorrow, that would you support her?
I'm going to tell you, the only commitment I'm going to make is I'm not going to endorse any candidates if I don't make it until November, but I will support the most qualified person come November. That's the only commitment I will make.
Well said. Brother, I appreciate you, okay?
All right, Trey. I appreciate the phone call, and
okay.
Appreciate everything you do.
Okay, my brother, and I want all the listeners to keep it locked right there, and we're going to close this thing. You know what? As a matter of fact, I'm going to hold on the phone for a second, Casey. I'm going to go ahead and close this episode out since it's been a longer episode. For any of you that missed any of these great interviews today from Dorothy P, Piedrahita, or Casey Duren, please tune in this evening for a rebroadcast at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, and that's 2 p.m. Pacific Standard Time over there in Las Vegas at the His Hop Radio headquarters. All right? And until next week, people, I will be locked inside of your device with another great episode of the Hurricane Main Show right here on His Hop Radio. Thank you, and God bless.